Well, here we go. First video out, and I'm already trying to take down an international supergiant of a TV network. Well, I suppose there's no better way to critique a TV station than by reviewing its shows individually, and in this regard, the big bad TV supergiant could best be acquainted to a homeless fellow suffering from leprosy and hemophilia. I mean, God, take a look at what we have to work with here. Adventure Time is the acid trip of a 40-something fat dude living in his mom's basement who never quite grew out of the childhood wonder years. Mad TV's parodies take liberties with the original subject matter the same way Jason Voorhees takes liberties with hot teenagers in the shower. That is to say, Mad tears it to shreds and then makes off with whatever semblance of entertainment remains. Or did Jason Voorhees not do that? I'm actually quite foggy on those details. Anyway, Total Drama Whatever is just a Canadian show that was redubbed to make accents more understandable for the wanker demographic and to remove the swearing. Now, Cartoon Network, if you're trying to gear a show towards teenagers, then for God's sakes, don't try to multitask the accessibility of the show to kids too, alright? All you end up doing in the process is making a show that's bland for everyone, and therefore worthy material for me to go on the internet and whine about it nonstop. And last, we have Regular Show, which... okay, I gotta admit, Regular Show is pretty good. There, I said it. Alright, well, listening to me being nice to something isn't particularly entertaining, so Regular Show gets a free ride. So, with that said, time to crucify these other shows with rusty nails. Alright, Mad TV, you're first. Now listen, all of your episodes end on a 5-minute skit parodying another show. Now, I think a good parody has something derivative of the original subject matter in it. That just makes the parody doubly funny for people who like the show, and triply funny for people who don't like the show. Unfortunately, though, Mad does not agree with this philosophy. Mad thinks a good parody involves taking a letter from the original title of the show and replacing it with another letter is what brings a good parody. For example, Mad had a parody of a popular show called Chuck, which is about a nerd working at a Best Buy who becomes a spy. Mad's parody is called Duck. Yes, a geek who works at a Best Buy, who gets a computer chip implanted in his brain so he can be a super spy, and Mad thinks that replacing that with a bird is just, you know, genius material for a parody. Yeah, sorry, I think I'm just gonna slap myself for the next 30 seconds. Really, it's okay. Just roll with it. Ow. 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 God, this is starting to hurt. Why am I doing this? Oh, wait, that's right. Mad's making me do this. Screw you, Mad. I didn't plan on slapping myself today. Alright, Mad, if your parodies are going to have that little to do with the original subject matter, then you might as well just retitle Duck to Cornholio's Wonderful Panty Adventure, and that would probably be an improvement over Duck. Alright, now to be fair, not all Mad parodies just consist of changing a single letter of a word. No, some Mad parodies decide to change a word of the whole title, like Malcolm in the Middle-earth. Now, Mad, let me just ask you, what is the exact connection between Malcolm in the Middle and Lord of the Rings? Nothing? Yeah, I thought so. Alright, I'm going to reduce my critique of Total Drama Cornholio's Wonderful Panty Adventure into a single point. Cartoon Network, kids like things that teenagers think are cool. But if a teen sees the kids liking it, then they'll suddenly drop it like it's got the malaria virus or something. Now, kids on one hand are easy to entertain because they like anything marketed towards their age group. That's why those crappy Alvin and the Chipmunks movies have been doing so well over the years. Now, teens on the other hand are a completely different story. They want a good plot, developing characters, and preferably some Playboy models strewn in somewhere. Okay, maybe that's just the male demographic, but still, my point being that everything needs a target audience because the kiddies and the teeny boppers have unique tastes, and if you try to make an experience for everyone, it'll just feel bland for everyone watching it. That is to say, unless you're a child and it was marketed towards you, in which case they will automatically love it. But still, I'm right because I didn't make Total Drama Whatever Cornholio Panty Adventure. Adventure Time, on the other hand, is going to be a bit difficult to review because, as I said earlier, the whole show plays like the delusional acid trip of someone tripping acid, so I suppose the best way to go over Adventure Time would be to describe two scenes that stand out for me personally. Anyway, the first one involves the antagonist asking a robot he adopted to have sex with some princesses that he had recently kidnapped. I don't really know what to say of that entirely. I mean, I chose this scene to describe because it stood out to me, but can you really blame me? I mean, the antagonist is asking a robot to have sex with some princesses he captured. Anyway, the next scene involves an elephant with diamonds in her eyes, and also this elephant is supposed to be like an old lady for some reason, I guess because old ladies and elephants are just so similar, whatever. Anyway, the old lady elephant is at this point asking the protagonist, Finn, to have sex with her, so... You know, maybe it's just me, maybe it's my developing teenager mind or something, but I seem to be seeing a lot of reoccurring themes here. So, you know, Adventure Time team, is there something you want to come out about? I mean, like, you know, everyone has their own little fetishes, I guess, but you like robots and old lady elephants, okay? I mean, like, listen, personally, I'm not that squeamish a person, but since when was cross-species breeding cool in a children's cartoon? Because I remember watching Billy and Mandy as a child, and I never once thought to myself, oh boy, this show would only be perfect if there was some cross-species breeding in here somewhere. I mean, what's wrong with the Adventure Time team? I really think they need to come out with whatever's going on in their heads. Fortunately, being a world-class intellect, I was able to come up with a theory. My theory is that Cartoon Network initially didn't want to air these episodes, but the writers of the Adventure Time team shared some of their drugs with the Cartoon Network executives, so they'd be a bit more chill about it. Okay, fine. Even my world-class intellect can't possibly comprehend what's going on here, but can you really blame me? I mean... Also, this is what's really crazy to me. Someone informed me that the show actually takes place in a post-nuclear holocaust thing, so I guess radiation doesn't actually make mutated babies in death, but instead makes Candyland and happiness, which I guess is the message they're trying to get across to the children, because I've tried watching this show so many times, and I can't think of a better message this show's trying to convey than radiation is good. Seriously, I've racked my brain. And that is the best I can think of considering what the show's about, and how it's all post-nuclear holocaust, and everything's matter to candy, and Anyway, despite all of what I just said about Adventure Time, it really isn't a bad show, it's just weird as all hell. But yeah, at the end of the day, Adventure Time isn't really a terrible show. I mean, some of the episodes are pretty funny, and if you watch it with a friend, there is some entertainment to be had. Preferably, though, if you're gonna watch the show, watch it while you're on some drugs, because if you aren't and you're watching it, it just won't make any sense to you, like... ever. I mean, come on, it has an elephant trying to sleep with a... never mind. So overall, at the end of the day, despite one okay and one kinda good show, Cartoon Network really is dropping in quality right now. Like, it's not at the same level as the Disney Channel yet, but it's currently in a death dive, and pretty soon it's going to be as bad as the Disney Channel. To be fair, though, if the quality of Cartoon Network shows drops so much that the company goes through bankruptcy, I'll actually be kind of happy about that, because I think bankruptcy would teach those executives the right lesson for getting rid of Toonami, the bastards.